I'm so happy to be sitting here with you. I've always wanted to learn from you and see my dream come true. I'm so happy. Thank you so much.
Very well.
I have some questions I would like to get the answers from you. I would like to please briefly describe the richness of Edo culture and place in national development.
Very well. Thank you so much. It's also, I mean, the honor is both ways because it's always an honor for me to, pass on knowledge, to share knowledge, and also to feel in a way that, there's something important that the younger generation will be learning from my own generation. So it's also an honor for me to be able to do this. And as much as possible, I would always advise that you stay true, just be free, relax, ask the questions, I'll give you. Edo, the richness of Edo culture. Okay, I think that for me, there's no way you can talk about cultural heritage and not mention Edo. So even the very ask, just brightens me up because I just feel that that's a unique selling point as Edo people. Wherever you go in the world, wherever the oldest, one of the oldest monarchies all across the world, whenever you talk about Edo, there's something, you must have to mention our own culture, whether it's in the way we live our daily lives, in the way we govern ourselves. As the oldest, one of the oldest surviving monarchies, we've done great with that on that phase. In our tangible or intangible heritage, whether it be in our arts that you find all over the world in all the great museums. In fact, there's no museum in the world that will not have a piece of Edo art. Yes, that's how significant our our cultural heritage is, and Edo just has its own place globally, not Nigeria, globally on the arts and culture space. So that's one of the things that just sets us apart, that when we get into any room, we have the authority to talk, because that is so much a part of us that it stands us out as Edo people. So yeah, Edo culture, our heritage, all over the world is everywhere. You look in our dressing, in our foods, in our religious worships, our festivals, our dances, or even in the way that we build, in our architecture is also an art. So there's just a lot of richness about the Edo culture.
Wow, yeah. So interesting.
Only last, about April, we went on one of the most significant things that has happened to me in my time here. I'm only about a year in this ministry.
1 year?
Yeah, 1 year. Yes. I was sworn in, I think June last year. So I only turned 1 year in June. And so one of the most significant things that's happened to me since I became the Honorable Commissioner for Arts, Culture and Tourism in Edo State was being the commissioner on the state when we took a Nigeria to the biggest art exhibition in the world, the Venice Biennale. So this year, the governor of our state led the Nigeria pavilion. And that means that, he was referred to as the commissioner. The title is always the commissioner of the pavilion. So for once he became a commissioner, leading the Nigerian team to the Venice Biennale. I knew what was so interesting about that. When we went there, our exhibition, the Nigerian pavilion, became the talk of the town. Yes, and so much so that the New York Times listed us as the #1 pavilion to see at the Biennale this year. So for me, that was huge achievement just coming into that. So that's just telling you the place that we hold on a global scene. There's so much happening here, but we'll always have our art. If you take everything away from Edo, Edo will always have a place in the art world because of our unique heritage.
Interesting. I'm hearing this for the first time.
Yeah, indeed.
Thank you so much, Mom. Thank you. How has your journey been this 1 year? How has it been for you?
I know you look surprised when I said I've been here a year. Okay, so I've been in the ministry for a year, but I have been in government since 2016. I'm a trained investment banker, so naturally, my sin would have been the finance world or thereabout. But since I joined in 2016, I resumed with His Excellency Mr. Godwin Obaseki on day one in Edo State Government House, and I started off being his principal private secretary. So which meant that I did that work. I worked so close to the governor for the first 3 years of the administration, resuming and closing with him every day, and that was a huge learning for me. Just coming from the finance world into public service for the first time, I had to really watch what he was doing. He gave me a platform to experience every area of government, and I was learning from a pro, so somebody who's a guru in the business world and then coming into public service, and I mean, you can see his track record. I learned so much from him that when I now became his senior special assistant on strategy, it was a natural process for me because I had seen quite a bit of what government and actual governance was about. There were so many remarkable things that we did in the first year. Even when we started, we decided we wanted to go digital. So that was one of our processes, and that also gave me an in-depth knowledge of various areas of government and how they all intertwine and how they work together and why we are here now. I then left from there and I became a special advisor on strategy, which again gave me a whole coverage. Advising him directly on strategy and program management in the state also exposed me to not just the policy making side now, but even the implementation, and also trying to even monitor and all our evaluations of our processes, our programs, initiatives. So I learned a lot. It was a general overview of the government of Edo State even before I came in as the Hon.commissioner in this ministry. So for me it was a natural, it seemed like a natural transition because I already had the background knowledge that I needed to function across any ministry, to be honest, because I think they say that when you get to the management level, you just need the same set of skills. So it was easy for me to bring all of my learning in those various areas into what I was doing here. Also, having the knowledge of the policy direction of the government, strategic directions, the pillars that the government functions on, the foundation of the government up till now. So I came into the ministry, I already knew a lot about the mandate of the ministry. So for me, even if I've been here 1 year, it just seems like I've always been here because I do understand. And then naturally, as an adult girl myself, an adult woman, I am one who's really passionate about my culture. So I would, even when I was in the banking industry, always have an item of Edo with me. So for example, I will always wear my coral beads, and because I know that for us it means that when you wear the coral beads, it's assumed that you have to be right, you have to just stick to certain values, so it's a reminder for me where I come from. So I always wore that, and then I got to Edo State, and then we also wear our Idia pin, the head of the mask of Queen Idia, warrior and mother, queen, and a great administrator herself. So for me, working in the ministry just became it's almost like something I always wanted to do, to be honest. and just gave me a platform to bring all of that to the forefront. And it's been quite an interesting journey. I come to work every day with excitement because I like what I do. I enjoy my work, and it makes it easy for me because I work with some, a visionary leader that helps you along the process. You're free to ask questions where you get stuck, and it's almost like a mentor, not just a governor, not my boss alone. It's like a mentor. He's a mentor to me, so I watch him, I see the things he's doing, and I have learned a lot. So my work in the ministry, in a nutshell, has been quite an exciting one, and I think that the passion and my own, I think I have one of my strongest qualities will be my grit. So for everything I do, I bring so much passion into it, and it just translates in my work. So even if you take me out of this ministry and take me somewhere else, as long as I have the passion, I will still perform to the fullest because I will bring in all of it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am. Because I saw from my research, I watched your video on social media.
Yes.
You talked about Sakoma Blue Rivers.
Okay.
I would like to know what makes it special.
You know that look, I can't talk about the Sakumba blue water enough. It's the first time I went there. I was talking about it, and people said to me, I read their comments, and they were replying and asking, is this even in Edo State? This is not Edo State. There was a particular comment that I will never forget, because I actually asked my daughter, who's about your age, I said, what does that word even mean? Somebody said, this commissioner is just catching cruise with us. And I found that very funny, because I asked her, I said, what does it mean by this commissioner? And he said in pidgin English, actually, he said this commissioner just a catch cruise with us here. This place not in Nigeria, which kind of those states? And it was just somewhere that was less than 30 minutes away from the city center. And the Sakumba, it's actually pronounced Sokwomba. And that in the Edo language means only the Oba. So it was a time where I think there was, if I go into all the historical bits now, when Ovorame, I think it was about Ovorame, yes, when he was to be exiled to Calabar from Benin, right? There was a place where usually they don't pass, and nobody can pass through there, right? And they now made this the General Asoro, I think at the time, yes, I was just there, saying that unless it was the Oba, nobody could pass through there. So that's how the name stuck. It actually means Sokwomba, that only the Oba can pass through, no other person. There were lots of misconceptions about our own culture, our traditions when the colonial, the British came into Edo, which actually led to the massacre. That's just a bit of the story. It's a whole long story. So that Sokomba is in Orionwo local government area in Edo South senatorial district of Edo State. It's Orionwo is our largest oil producing local government in Edo, and it's one of the largest, spanning across a large land area. That's where the blue water is. And what was so interesting for me? All the time I heard about the Sakumba blue water, or also referred to, I think it's called the Jensen River. Yes. What was so interesting about it is that all the time I ever heard about the 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 Sokumba blue water. I never even imagined that. I thought, oh, okay, blue, yeah, we'll see. How is that even possible? And so when I got there, I went there for a different thing actually. I got there and I saw the color of the water was actually blue. And I said, what beauty is this? You know, and there was something so captivating about the area that just reminded me of so much calm, so much peace. And it was only as I started to ask questions that I found out that that place was actually called the place of pardon. So whenever you were running away from anything, when you got to that space, you were pardoned. And then it just reflected in the serenity that was so evident in that space. Here is a river that it has a source from, I think it's part of the river Etio. And then when it comes out there, it still retains that color. And you go there beyond, amidst everything happening around the area, there's that peace that you just experienced. I remember in one of my, you actually said it, I said it was so therapeutic. I thought to myself, how in the world can we have this and not even use it? So this should be a big tourist attraction for us in Edo State, because we pay to go for beaches that are not even 1/10 of what I saw at the Sakumba River. Sakumba River also is one of those rivers that flows both ways. Every river flows one way, but this one flows both ways.
Interesting.
And you look down, when you look into the water, it's so clear that you can see, a good kilometer down in the river. So it's just, every time I think about it, and I want to just I have a picture of it now around, so in my own space. So when I want to just reflect and, those moments when you want to relax a bit, I imagine that I'm back there again. So that's what it does to me, and I just see how peaceful and what beauty God has given to us naturally. That's one of the many, tourist and heritage sites in Edo that I will continue to promote even when I'm no longer here, because I think there's so much potential that needs to be tapped in that space. You should visit there.
I would love to.
In your time in Benin, I will make sure that because I know that this is one of the first visits out of home for you, and I think that's what Nigeria is trying to. No, I don't think. I know that's what Nigeria is trying to promote. When you go to other states and as a youth corper, you're supposed to experience another culture. I served in Kebbi State. And that's where we have the Arabungo Fishing Festival. It was an exciting journey for me as well. So as much as possible, I would like for you to also see all of this. So I will arrange a tour and make sure that you visit all these places, so that you can also become our own. You can become our own ambassador.
I would love to.
Yes, that would be nice. That's one of the things that you will achieve here.
Oh, you look so dashing. I've observed that in your daily attire, you always African fabrics.
Yeah.
Are you intentional?
Oh, absolutely. I'm very intentional about it. So beyond the fact that I in my own way think this is the best way to promote my culture, because even when I worked at the bank outside Nigeria, I would make an effort to have my own national clothes on Fridays, when you could wear your your casuals, your business casuals on. Why? Because I think that culture is such an icebreaker. Once you see me wearing my traditional prints, you're bound to ask me, oh, that's lovely. It looks different from everything else. Where is it from? So that's a natural way of starting a conversation. Yeah? Then I have to tell you this. It's not just about the conversation or the being an icebreaker. You know what you don't even know. Oh, God bless President Olusegun Obasanjo for encouraging us to wear our own prints. You know why? Before this time, to get a very decent office business suit will cost me a lot of money. And in the present day Nigeria, I don't even want to, announce how much some of those things go for. But here I am now. I can easily pick up my own African print, pay little or nothing to have those same designs created for me the way I like them, and cheap and cheerful. So it's so comfortable to wear. I'm moving. I'm not constrained in any way. I'm free. It's my own, given our weather conditions and all. I wouldn't want to. And I'm not against anybody who wants to dress differently, but I think this just looks better on me, complements my skin. It works well for me as an individual, and it's very affordable. So I love to wear my African prints, and it's very, very intentional. Yes. And then I think being in the Ministry of Culture as well, I would, I don't know how that would come across if I had to dress up in other, outfits. Yes.
For you, fashion is comfortability. What makes you comfortable?
100%. I have to be comfortable. And I'm not, yes, I do like trends, and yes, I admire different things on different people, but if I have to wear something, I really need to be comfortable in it. And it has to complement my own body, my size, everything. It has to just be, I'm very particular about presentation. Yeah. So for me, I'm not going to wear something that doesn't suit me because I think it's in fashion. I wouldn't. I would wear something that I'm comfortable in, something that I think suits me, suits my physique and all that, speaks volumes about where I come from. So that's really important for me.
Thank you so much. I'm learning
a lot. Yes. Yeah.
I've observed your passion in the entertainment sector. Were you once an entertainer?
That has to be the funniest one I've had. I've been called quite a lot of things. People have asked me, were you an actor? I see that you're very interested in the film. We have a film project in the States. So are you an actor? Why are you so? I see the passion that you use in driving film production. I look at them and say, they don't really understand that this is actually my job, right? So I have been given a mandate to deliver on certain goals, and I must deliver on them, because I appraise, even if no one is appraising me, I appraise myself, So I bench what I'm doing with those who have done it better, right? So even if I was in the entertainment industry or not, I think that I will still just give my all to it. So I haven't been in entertainment. I think the closest I've been would be maybe, having been in a drama club in school, or even going on to, as a young child, and to be honest, we used to have a program organized by, I think it was Bendel Television at the time, when it was still Bendel State, before we became Edo State. About 33 years ago now. Okay, when I was in school, we used to have a program on Bendel Television where they took young school children to go and be guests on the on TV shows and all. So I did a bit of that. and Children's Time. Yes, Children's Time. I think that was the name. And I did a bit of that. So we would listen to maybe storytellers and ask questions, and get a chance to maybe get involved in an art class or a cooking class, baking class, one thing or the other then. And I think that would have been my closest to entertainment as a young child. But I remember even then that I used to be very excited about it. So maybe also that I have something of that inside of me, I don't know. But I you know what I love about entertainment? It's such a unifier. So sports is entertainment as well. So whether it's been music or in art, in film, whatever area of entertainment, Edo is just ticking all the boxes in that space right now, because we are, permit me, I don't mean to be too arrogant about this, but we are working creativity in Edo State. So the average Edo person has so much creativity in Ban that it just comes out when you get a small platform to exhibit it. So for me, if you look at what is happening across the entertainment world right now, you will see that we are suddenly, it's all about Edo. And then why? It's just young Edo people making so much impact across the world in entertainment. If I could start by talking about Rema and Charlie Poppy, Johnny Drew, there's a lot of them. If they're not even fully Edo, they all have or even the producers, the directors, I know Andre Vibes, all of them, most of them are from Edo actually, in different areas of entertainment industry. And it just, or in our comedy, where we have all the Edo Peking, MC Casino, Porcupine, a lot of them, all the musicians. So you see from our legends, Victor Waifu, Sonny Okosun, Osayomore Joseph, Akabaman. Some of them are still around today. But guess what? They have managed to raise a new generation. Most of them have their children even in the music line of business as well, doing one thing or the other. Victor Waifu has two of his sons that I know that are really making a lot of rave there, whether it be in singing or in actual producing and directing. There's so many of them making mark all over the world. And what you see there is become something of a cultural exchange, right? So all of a sudden, we have young people wanting to speak Edo language. This is at the time when we get a report to say if you don't speak your language, you lose it in another about 200 years, you won't have your indigenous language. And we're trying to promote the use of our own indigenous language. And then all of a sudden, you see a Rema come on board and is saying something like, as a man, so people are asking, what does that even mean? Or you come and you hear him talk about Ozeba. Yes, they are all Edo language. So you see, there's Charlie Poppy telling you about where he comes from, whether it's Sakumba Road or they're talking Benin boys. Everything is just revolving around Benin right now, and it's all mostly thanks to entertainment, whether it be in the music entertainment field, sports, different areas of theater. We're just, ticking all the boxes. So entertainment for me is, even if look at it again from the therapeutic side, it can be a stress relief. It's an escape for you from the worries of our daily life. I know, joke, right now in Nigeria, we need a lot of entertainment because there's so much happening that we all have to actually take our time and just say, you know what, life happens, we're not going to kill ourselves. But But entertainment must also be looked at as an economic enhancer.
Economic enhancer. What role can it play, or does it play in national cohesion?
Well, I've talked to you now about all the, you've been, I'm sure you've been singing Ozeba.
Yes,
You didn't know what Ozeba?
I don't.
Okay, so that's Edo language. And Ozeba, if I put correctly now, is something that you say, let me translate it the way it actually affects. So, you give somebody something and then you say, oh, and you have spoiled it, I'm not going to take it again from you. I refuse to take it, so it's now with you. Ozeba, it's now, I've left it with you, but I'm not really happy to leave it with you. It's up to you. It's a kind of way of, it's causing problem, but in a way, but you see the way he has said it in that music. You're all saying Ozeba. So everyone is now asking, what is Ozeba? So we do have something, or is it Azaman? We are talking about like cash for it. Thanks to Rem, I actually gave a shout out to the governor on Azaman, Obaseki Nababa. So it's telling you something about what it can become as a unifying force. Yeah? So when you talk about the national cohesion, there is a lot that entertainment can do. Everybody says that no matter what the problems are, advertise a sporting event. People forget their worries as they're watching a football match, for example. It's the same way. You're listening to music, you're in a carnival, you're in a concert, you're listening to music, you tend to forget all the differences. So I feel that we haven't even fully tapped into what entertainment can do for us in promoting Nigerian unity. There's so much that we can get out of that. And I think that even just to mention of the concert, I don't know, we will be having the greatest youth concert of all time in Edo right in this August in Benin City. The Samuel Obemudia Stadium will be hosting Rema. The Rema homecoming.
Oh,
so
make
noise. Don't miss it. That will be the biggest youth program this year in Edo State, and I can tell you for free. If you don't hurry, you may not get a seat. Because in less than a week of announcement, they were selling out. So that just shows to you what the Edo youth, coming from a place of hopelessness. When we started in 2016, I can tell you we had a tag. So if you introduce yourself as an Edo woman, for example, they'll say, oh, you're a Benin girl. Una too like Italy. You know what he's saying? He's telling you you're going to, because that time it was tagged as we went across to do, some illegal stuff, and human trafficking, illegal migration. All of those were issues that were, very giving us very negative publicity out there, and then the perception of the general public about the Edo person was something always kind of related to some crime or some illegality to a large extent. But in less than 5 years, all of that narrative has suddenly turned around. In fact, I remember when we came, there was not a week that went by that we didn't hear that there was a boat accident in maybe Italy or Spain or somewhere, or some of our youth going through the desert and not even sure of where they were going. All of that, even though most times we look at them look at them as negative, but there's also there's a very deep story that it tells about the average Edo child. Is the tenacity, the boldness, the courage with which we take on things as Edo people. I mean, you're going on a journey that you don't know if you will ever get there. You don't have the information. Sometimes you even know that some people who went, you never hear from them again, but you still decide to go. Or just to get a better life from what it seems, or the kind of life they presented to you without information. But here we are now, 7, almost 8 years down the line, that narrative has changed completely. So now you hear about the Edo people, you're actually hearing something positive about what we are doing, in whether it's in the sports, Osine, entertainment. I've mentioned all of them, Rema and all of them. In film world, in our film production, most of them, all the all of them are Joy Obide, people taking on, huge challenges and just proving themselves. We had a lone rider from East Africa to Nigeria. We received that here, Joy Obide, lady rider that decided on an adventure on her bike alone. And we celebrate them. We had another young lady, Angel, who decided to go on a record-breaking attempt, who read aloud for 200. She set a target of 200, but by the time she finished, she had done 230 hours just reading aloud. And we all witnessed all of these things. So it's just telling us about what lies in the youth, what lies in the next generation, which is why I always say that I'm really intrigued by the Gen Zs. There's something about them that I find so interesting. The way they want to live their lives, the way they don't have time for let's take it easy. For them it's fast and furious, but in a way they are delivering. So, there's something to be learned as well from the younger generation. So it excites me when I engage with the younger generation, which this ministry has also given me a great opportunity to do, and I'm deeply, deeply grateful for all the youth that I see here every day. So entertainment is such an, a big unifying force for Nigeria, and I think it should be exploited even further.
Thank you so much, Mom. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mom. I can't fully express what I feel and how grateful I am.
You're doing your own bit. It's a big thing to serve your country. Do you know that? The sense of pride, and you've taken me back almost 26, 27 years now. Just seeing you in your outfit, I remember myself in that as well. So it's a big, big sense of pride. You may not know what you are doing, serving your country, in your national colors, showing to the world that Nigeria is great, has always been great, and will be great again. That's the message for the future. So every time I see a copper, there's a renewed hope.
Yes, Mom. I want to share a testimony.
Yes, please.
It was not my first time meeting. I've always, okay, before I came here, I never wanted to go for service because of other plans I had. And when I was posted in those states, I said I was not going to come.
Okay.
I will revalidate. When I got to the camp, I was easily spotted out because of the things I did there.
Okay.
So when I posted, I tried to go back home. I don't want to serve in those states. I heard lots of negative things about those states. When I came, I was not actually seeing them. So when I came back here, I was accepted, and the first day I met you, you gave me a motherly welcome. It has been from one good experience to another. I'm so excited. I'm so happy to be serving under you, Mom. You inspire me so much.
Oh, nice. I'm deeply touched by that as well. I'm deeply touched by that. Yes, by all means, you're here, and I have young adults as well. I have 3 children myself, and they're all between the ages of 26 to 22 now. So they are at that age where we get a lot of great discussions, and they really challenge me to do many things in life as well, even at my own age. So yes.
Okay, but what is your advice? I studied music.
Okay.
And I'm so happy. I didn't just study music. I specialize in music therapy.
Ah.
Yes, ma'am. That was why when I heard you talk about this about blue water, it's
Yes.
about therapy, how therapeutic. You know,
Yeah.
like whoa. So what one word do you have for young people out there who aspires to be great?
Music therapy. That's an interesting one. I don't know if I can say that in one word. I just think that that's what the world needs right now. We need a bit of, softness. I think it is softness. Is you thinking well-being. Okay? So that those are a few words. It can't be one word because there's so much it does for you. Your well-being, your the way you approach your life and live your life depends on how you manage it. And I deeply, deeply think that music therapy should be something compulsory for all of us. And I've encouraged it in the ministry.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So it means the government should approve it generally?
Absolutely. I think in December, we have a yearly program called the Edo Festival of Arts and Culture. Part of what we did during the Edo Fest last year, which was mostly about collaborations, was to have a music show and then also have a wellness class where we use various forms of arts to enlighten and create the awareness about what something like music could do for you and how your art through music could help you achieve a general well-being in your own work life. So your work life, but there are times I just want to be here and listen to music.
Interesting.
So I'm surrounded with all the beauties, all the arts and all of that, but I want to listen to music. And I just want to lock myself away. I just stay there and I come out always refreshed. So I think it should be, music has always been a part of what we do in Edo State. We always have been in music. I think that it is important for it to continue to be a very, very big part of our curriculum in schools. And I know it is now.
Good.
Calm down. I told you to calm down.
Yes, ma'am. We adults, me.
Of course, you're already working under me here. And if you look around my office, actually, I enjoy working more with young people. And I don't, my apologies to my own generation. I just feel like I have a lot of learning from them. So I love working with young people. There's so much freshness that they bring into everything. It's engaging. I love the way they live.
Thank
Really.
you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm so grateful.
Not at all. I'm encouraged seeing people, young people who are interested in things like this and like just made me come on, give me a hug. Okay, so all the best, okay? All the best. Your home in Benin, this is the center of hospitality, the heartbeat of the nation. Benin is home for everyone. We're very welcoming. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. So to
Bye
everyone
to
there,
everyone out there. Thank you for listening to us.
Watching.
Keep on watching, keep on learning, and please keep on following us on social media at Ministry of Arts, Culture, Tourism, and Diaspora Affairs, because my own boss, Honorable Commissioner, will be providing you with more educational content. You will learn with me, and you'll be happy to learn with me. Thank you for following.
Thank you.
USA.
USA. Thank you.